So I'm going to kind of get this out the way very quickly. Matt Rip is his name. I am sorry. And later on in this video, if you actually see the thing, I'm going to butcher your name. But I just want to say this now and get it correctly. Matt Rip. I just want to say thank you for subscribing, and I'm giving this man a shout out. And also, if you see later on, just if anybody's watching this video, just stick around for the end. Then you can judge it. Just stick around, comment, subscribe, like. I'm telling you ahead of time. Please just do it. Help me get 60 before the new year. But also, once again, Matt Rip, thank you for subscribing. You're cool. What is up, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube? That's right, I am Chris Smith, and we got another review for you today. This is like my 6th video, and I promise you will not see me again today. But for today as my 6th video, or whatever it may be, we're talking about The Expanse. That's right, I was a little bit lacking behind, but I got this done. Expanse, Season 1, Episode 4, let's talk about it. Now, this episode was a pretty good episode, and I really enjoyed this shit. Mainly because we got a little bit more of the crew, Holden's crew. Now, granted, the main lead of the show, I would say pretty much, is Miller. Now, the Jenny Mao story, or Julie Mao story, actually kind of took a bit of a backseat in this episode. And we were talking more about the potential war between Mars and Earth because of, they think Mars blew up the Canberra. So this is more of a Holden episode, Holden and his crew episode, and we got to know them a bit more. Some people didn't get the heads up that they weren't going to make it. And if you saw the episode, you probably understand that joke. But for me, personally, I enjoyed this episode a lot. Now, let's talk about some things that kind of happened in this episode. Now, Holden and his crew, they are still on the Mars ship. And they're trying to, they're taken prisoner. And then the captain there is saying that we did not attack the Canberra. We are innocent, pretty much. And Holden actually kind of knows that. And they're trying to say, you're the only real witness to, clear Mars's name and stop this pretty much war. And he says that I'm not going to testify and help you unless you help me save my crew and get my crew out. But obviously that doesn't go as well as they planned, and, some things ensues and whatnot. While we are with the crew, they're locked up inside of one of the cells or whatever. And the guy from Royal Pains, the air pressure kind of gets cut off. And I'm going to tell you this in a second, but the air pressure gets cut off, and then he hands him, I think, a match or whatever it was, to take the edge off of Alex, and then he hands it to him, and then the air pressure goes out, and then his head just gets sucked out of the goddamn hole, kind of like Blofeld, not Blofeld, Goldfinger, and Goldfinger, pretty much. But yes, his head just gets clean cut off. He didn't even get the heads up. Now, personally, I thought he was actually the most annoying of the crew, and I said this on the episode 3 review, but it was intimidating, and you see the crew that kind of they're scared. It was like, Jesus Christ, that was our buddy, all that for cigarettes. See, they say cigarettes can kill you, but they never mention that it could also decapitate you. But Holden, in this episode especially, you kind of see that Holden, even though on the surface he could kind of come off as a bit of an ass of sorts, and he's kind of like Captain Malcolm Reynolds, right, from Firefly. If you people know the show, you might have heard of it. Sorry, but yeah, you might have heard of it. But he came across almost as Malcolm Reynolds, where even though he kind of comes off as kind of an ass of sorts, he would do anything to protect his crew, and that's pretty much what this episode showed. He was constantly willing to put himself in danger as long as he got his crew out. He didn't want to feel responsible. So for that, I actually liked him. I like Naomi on this thing. I keep on forgetting the other brute guy that is with Naomi, but I keep on forgetting his name. Alex is interesting, but he also seemed like the biggest pussy in the world, and they kind of mentioned that but he wasn't a legit soldier. They said for some military guy, quite a big pussy. But yes, and eventually the ship, the Mars ship that gets attacked, they come under attack by the same people allegedly that attacked, Holden his crew, and they destroyed the Canberra. And then we kind of figure that out. And then, as I said, they need him to testify, and he's the only witness, so they kind of escort him, Holden only, they kind of escort him out to make sure he clears Mars' name. But as I said, he still wants to save his crew. And while this is going down, like I said, we realized that Mars was set up. It was not Mars. Now, back to Miller. He's doing some autopsy. A couple of people that kind of died recently. This was not really a Miller episode, really. Like, he says interesting things, but for the most part, this was more of the Holden side of things. I enjoyed Chad L. Coleman from The Walking Dead. You know, he was interesting on his thing, and he's OPA apparently, and he seemed like a calm, definitely different from Tyrese. I say that. He seemed like he's a bit more, you know, not afraid as Tyrese. Tyrese was like the biggest pussy on The Walking Dead, but he's like 6'3" and like 300 pounds. And here, he's kind of like a cool but intimidating guy of sorts. And I'm interested in seeing where his character actually goes in this thing. But it was nice to see him pop up. But, you know, can't really say that much about him. He doesn't do too much on this episode. But, yeah, once they get attacked, they're trying to get Holden out of there. And then, as I said, we realize all of the things that kind of come to terms. And then the captain of the ship realizes that, you know, this crew barely, realistically, never had any combat training. So, only in, like, simulators. So, therefore, they're worthless. So, they get slaughtered. You know, they're dead. Everybody's dead. They're all dead. And then, you know, Holden and some of the people that were escorting him, they kind of work together to get the crew. And then he gets his crew, and they all are trying to escape and whatnot. And then they kind of do. You know, one of the cool things about their escape was that, you know, he kind of latched onto Naomi. He kind of, like, kicked her and whatnot. So when he did that, I was just like, hey, that's some smart thinking there, you know, because the air pressure was down. So, you know, they were moving very slow in the gravity and whatnot. So they eventually do escape, and everybody's pretty much injured by the time you know it. One of the Mars soldiers is with them. The one that did the interrogation, you know, the one that took the fish pills or whatever. And then they escape very woundedly, yes. And Alex flies to the ship because apparently the Mars officer said he's not a pilot. Go figure. These people are kind of worthless when you really see them in the context of fighting. But for some reason, they're a part of this army or whatever. But yes, Alex takes them out of there. And then that's kind of the end. And they escape from the attack from who? I don't know. But we still have yet to figure out who actually destroyed the Canberra and who's trying to stage a war between Mars and Earth. We don't know yet, but hopefully we find out. But this is the giant negative. And this is obviously a bit of spoilers because this is a recap. Now, this is the dumb thing of the year. This year tends to be, let's kill people. Let's make them think, you know, he's dead or she's dead or whoever's dead. And then let's bring them back the next day or the next few episodes. You know, they did it in Game of Thrones. They're doing it with Glenn. They did it with a couple of people. And apparently they're doing it with Jay Hernandez's character. So, if you remember, in episode 3, Jay Hernandez, he got attacked by these guys. And he got a giant pole stabbed through his fucking chest, right? Now, granted, they may come up with a reason. I'm sure they will. But just at first glance, I have to review this as this. It's stupid. The guy got a pole through his chest. What thing will make him survive this shit? It is too early for the Expanse to jump the shark, really. And if they do, then, well, sadly, if they do some stupid shit like that, they're going to really have to try hard to explain how he survived. What, he's from another Earth? He's an alien? Come on. He got something through his chest. Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. Come on. That doesn't even make any sense, but hopefully they explain why he did it. But that is my review. I enjoyed this episode, and that was really the only negative. Once again, 2 times he's dead and alive in 2 episodes for Jay Hernandez's character. Don't really care about him, but hopefully this actually means he's going to be something. But that is my review. Comment, subscribe, like. Help me get to 60 subscribers. And Matt Rid, or Vid, I forgot your name. I'm so sorry, but Matt Rid, thank you for subscribing. I said I would give you a shout out, and there it is. Comment, subscribe, like. Help me get to 60 subscribers. I am 5 away before the new year. Let me get 60 before the new year, and thank you, and I will give you a shout out. But yes, I'm Chris Smith. This has been The Expanse, Season 1, Episode 4, review. Signing out.